Proposition D would allow new general advertising signs in the mid-market street area. In 2002, San Francisco voters adopted an ordinance prohibiting new general advertising signs anywhere in San Francisco. Proposition D, if passed, would exempt the mid-market street area from this ban. Proposition D would create a new special sign district on Market Street between 5th and 7th Streets. Allowable new signage could include roof signs, wind signs, video signs, rotating signs, signs with moving parts, and illuminated signs, among others. The existing nonprofit Central Market Community Benefit District would regulate the signs. For example, the height, position, movement, and illumination, and would select the companies allowed to install those signs. Further, Proposition D would require property owners who have sold advertising space on their buildings to deposit a percentage of advertising revenue earned into a fund managed by the Community Benefit District and audited by the City Controller. Funds could be used for youth and cultural arts education and a cultural organization ticket booth at Market and Powell Streets, among other things. A yes vote means you want to create a new mid-market special sign district where new general advertising signs would be allowed with restrictions. A no vote means you do not want to create this district. Hello, this is Steve McDonald with the San Francisco League of Women Voters, here with Dee Dee Workman, the spokesperson for the Yes on Proposition D campaign, to talk about her thoughts today. Dee Dee?
Prop D is a creative way to revitalize the historic art and theater district in San Francisco by allowing signs to go up on Market Street just between 5th and 7th Streets. It will bring light and life back to what is a long neglected and blighted neighborhood in the city, and a portion of the revenue from the signs that will go up on these buildings will be invested back into the community through the local community benefit district. The benefit district will have complete control over the signage, including the revenue, and the city controllers will audit it every year to make sure that the money is being invested as it's supposed to be. We have a broad coalition of support for Prop D, including both the Democratic and the Republican parties, the majority of the Board of Supervisors, District Attorney Kamala Harris, and the Chamber of Commerce.
Dee Dee, how do you see Proposition D, if passed, impacting the mid-market area?
Well, the first thing you'll see, and you'll see it very quickly, is that it will bring people back to mid-market. I think pedestrians will flock to this part of Market Street to see what's going on there. It will create a very exciting, vibrant environment. And when the pedestrians come back, then the vacant storefronts are going to fill up with galleries and theaters and restaurants. And when that happens, we'll have this seamless connection along Market Street from the Civic Center area to Yerba Buena Gardens down to the waterfront. And San Francisco will once again have its grand boulevard. You know, Market Street used to be a grand boulevard, a world-class boulevard like all great cities are supposed to have. Market Street was that once, and it will be again when Prop D passes.
Thank you, Dee Dee. In a moment, we'll have an opponent to Proposition D. Hello, this is Steve McDonald with the League of Women Voters here in San Francisco with Jane Kim, Vice President of the Board of Education of San Francisco, to talk about Proposition D. Jane's an opponent to Proposition D. We'd like to hear her thoughts. Jane?
Sure. So Proposition D is a measure being put by private commercial interests to erect large, massive digital billboards on Market Street between 5th and 7th Street. There are numerous reasons why voters should vote no on this measure. There are three important reasons that I hope voters will consider. One, this measure will strip review and regulatory authority from the planning department and give it to a private organization, which is unprecedented in the city. Two, in 2002, 79% of voters supported a prohibition of new general advertising in the city of San Francisco, and this ordinance will create exemption to a policy that San Francisco residents overwhelmingly support. And third, and most importantly, this ordinance would not generate new revenue for the city of San Francisco. Proponents are saying that money will be used to go to underserved youth programs, but currently there are no minimum mandates set in this policy to give to young people.
Jane, how do you see Proposition D impacting the mid-market area here in the city if it were passed?
Sure, it's going to create a large Times Square-esque feeling to a historic arts neighborhood. And furthermore, and more importantly, This is complex planning that shouldn't be happening at the ballot box. It should be happening with community input and accountability measures in place. This ordinance would create none. This is the kind of work that we want to see our Board of Supervisors and Planning Department do. So as a youth advocate, I'm encouraging voters to vote no on D, a measure that's going to create blight without accountability measures and with no minimum mandates for underserved youth programs.
Thanks, Jane. There you have the League of Women Voters wrap-up of Proposition D, and if you have any questions or issues related to the election and or Prop D, please check sfvotes.org, and don't forget to vote. Proposition E would prohibit an increase in advertising on any city-owned property such as buildings and street furniture. In 2002, voters approved Proposition G, an amendment to the Planning Code to prohibit the construction of new outdoor advertising on city-owned buildings. In 2007, voters approved Proposition K, a declaration of policy to restrict advertising on street furniture in city buildings. Proposition E would add these two previously passed propositions into the city's administrative code, giving them the force of law. The Municipal Transportation Agency has an existing contract with the company Clear Channel to provide the city with bus shelters and news racks in exchange for advertising space. Municipal Transportation Agency's existing contract with Clear Channel would not be impacted by this proposition, but an expansion of this contract would likely be prevented if this proposition does pass. A yes vote on Proposition E means that you want to prohibit an increase in the number of advertising signs on street furniture above the number allowed by city law, and specifically prohibits new advertising signs on city-owned buildings. A no vote means that you do not want to make these changes. To find out more about Prop E and this upcoming election, visit the League of Women Voters website at sfvotes.org.